everyone. So my name is Karina, and if you haven't been on my channel before, thanks for tuning in. So today's topic is going to be a little bit different. Usually I talk about ways of being conscious and sharing unconditional love and being in the present moment. But today's topic is going to be reasons why I've been on a dating app and why I'm choosing to be on one now. So before I get started, I'd just like to remind you guys that this is really my experience and what I believe is true for me at this moment. So I know I'm constantly changing. So thanks for being here. And before I get started on the topic, I just want to let you know that I do have a partner. We don't really label each other. We do call each other twin flames. We believe that we're just holding a space of unconditional love for each other. Sometimes we're lovers and best friends and like brother and sister. And it's just a beautiful journey that we're on. So for those of you who know my partner, or twin flame Joey, the beautiful thing about our relationship is that I'm completely honest. So whatever I'm posting on here, we've talked about, and that's what I really appreciate about him. But anyways, today's topic is about dating apps. And I want to give you like a brief little story or background of when I started going on dating apps. And it was the beginning of 2016. I believe it was like February. And my dad actually passed away January of that year. And I had a friend that was on a dating app previously, and she would tell me a little bit about it, and I think I had maybe one or two other people in my life that like mentioned it. And I always told myself, like, I'm never gonna go on that, like I don't believe in that, like what, if I'm meant to find or connect with anyone, it would be, in person, or it would happen. But things changed. And, after my dad passed away, I went to his funeral in South America, and when I came back, it was just, I felt lonely, and I guess I wanted connection looking back, but I didn't want to connect with people in my life because I know they would ask me how I was doing, and honestly, I just kind of wanted to be distracted. So there's that little background, and I'm just going to give you a few stories of my interactions on dating apps. For instance, I've been on Tinder and Bumble, and I think other ones, OkCupid, and I believe there was one more, but I don't remember. And the first one I started off with was with Tinder. And I'm so thankful for the first person that actually I met up with and communicated with. He's a wonderful person, and I still consider him my friend, even though we don't really talk very often. We'll talk here and there, like maybe once or twice a year. And we met up on Valentine's Day. I actually wrote a blog post about this, so maybe if I can look for it, I'll tag it on here. But it was just a cool experience. It was my first time meeting someone, and I was obviously very nervous. Didn't know what to expect, but I went with it. And I made sure to let people know where I was going, so that way they knew, and just in case anything happened. But I'm here, I'm alive, so it's all good. Anyways, it was just a beautiful experience. I spent the whole day with him, and we were friends, just catching up, and there was a little bit of spark as well, which was cool. And he was actually visiting Florida for about 2 weeks, so we spent a good amount of the time together. And the cool thing with him is, he left and we connected that year, in March or April. I went to some wedding up north and he was there. And then he lives in the West Coast, so when I went to see my family for a wedding, I met up with him for a day or two. And I truly believe and there's a connection with everyone that I meet somehow. And the cool thing is, a couple years after that, I went to Africa, and I left December 6th or something, and I saw on his brother's Instagram that they were leaving for Africa that same day. It was a different part of Africa, but I was like, wow, how connected we are as humans. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then my second experience that I absolutely love and appreciate I also went like on a date with this guy, and I still consider him my friend too, and I don't really talk to him as much, but I have him on social media and I like his post. But we connected because at the time he was a health coach and I was becoming a health coach, and we decided that it wasn't anything like romantic, it was just a friendship. So we would meet at like Whole Foods like once or twice a week or every other week to do work and discuss. And the cool part of this story is like later on in our friendship, he had the opportunity because his brother told him about this opportunity to be on the Travel Channel on this show called Extreme Water Parks. And he actually reached out to a girl before me, and she bailed or something, and he asked me if I wanted to try it out and interview for it. And him, his brother, a friend of ours, and myself interviewed and got the part. So I'm on the Travel Channel on a show called Extreme Water Parks, and it was at the Rapids. So if you're in the Florida West Palm area, you may know the Rapids, and we had the whole park to ourselves, and that was because I connected with someone on Tinder. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, I've also had experiences that were not that the best. I wouldn't say they were bad. It was just, maybe awkward times at dinner, or, there was like not connection with some people. And I remember there was one guy that like tried to kiss me. I was like, no, I appreciate you, but that's not where this is going. And times where I didn't respond back to some guys and vice versa. So, a lot of different experiences. Anyways, I know I kind of made that one a little bit long, but I wanted to come on here and tell you the reasons why I believe that I am on a dating app right now. So a couple weeks ago, I had this like itch to go on these apps. And at first I got in my head of like, oh, is, my partner Joey like not good enough, or are we not meant to be? And I like let that play, but I appreciate him so much, and like we're so honest with each other that I knew it wasn't because I wanted to go on because I wanted someone to hook up with, or I wanted some like romantic relationship. So I dug a little deeper and I asked myself, like, why is it that I want to go on a dating app? And a couple reasons came up. And the cool thing about this is like when the reasons come up, I also ask myself questions to go a little bit deeper on like if there's any other underlying reasons. But the first one I would say is connection. Being able to connect, and especially with men. So my partner actually started working a little bit more, so the mornings I have more to myself, which I take the opportunity to really, read, write, be in nature, but I still have that sense of connection. And I actually told him a few weeks ago, it's like, I want to go out. I don't want to go out all the time, but the reason why I want to go out is be able to like serve people, and doing that by saying hello, waving at people. When we went on our trip a few months ago, we connected with some people on the streets, and instead of just like giving them $1 and walking away, I actually approached them and asked them their name, their story. And in a way, I just am missing that connection, like we share a car, so I'm here. I can Uber, absolutely, but I just don't have that feeling to do that. So I wanted to be able to connect with people, and especially men. I know that women and men and myself, like we could all use some like healing in a way, but I don't know, I just felt like this more connection that I had with men, and not necessarily in a sexual or romantic way, but just in a way of loving them. So that was like one of my main reasons, connection. The second one, let's see, I didn't write these down, so they're just in my head really. But the second one, I guess, would be to see like what is out in the world. I'm really thankful for the community I have. They're pretty aware and conscious. And sometimes we call like the world out there the Matrix. And I just wanted to see what like men were thinking out there. And I'm like scrolling through some of these profiles, and I'm trying not to judge, just like really observe. And I'm observing how like some men are like pretty similar. Their profiles are really like surface level. They say, you know, their name, what they do for work, and they're traveling. And that's cool and all, but I wanted something really deep and in depth. So there are some like cool profiles out there, but I saw more of like what they're expecting in a relationship, you know, like a girl who travels or who works out and all this stuff. So what I wanted to do was put my profile out there. And, you know, when I go on the app, I really look at my profile all the time. I don't really look at guys. But my profile, I'm going to share what I like posted on there, but it was, the first line is like, what's a relationship? And just really questioning that. And it might not make sense to people, but you know, what's the difference between a romantic relationship and like a relationship you have with like your brother, your friend, your coworker, other than like maybe just being a little bit more intimate? So I created my profile in a way to create a more vulnerable, intimate space with people without the sensual or sexual area, I guess. So the rest of my profile says, you know, that I really enjoy like mind-blowing deep conversations, being in the moment without expectations, and loving unconditionally. And then I say that I am pretty open and vulnerable, and that I like to ask deep questions to make you think. And then I have a picture of Joey and I as well. So I put twin flame at the bottom. So if they want to research what twin flame means, you know, they can go ahead and do that. And then the app that I'm on is Bumble right now. And for those of you who don't know how Bumble works, the women have to send a message to the men first. And they have 24 hours. But if the woman doesn't respond in 24 hours, the man or whoever is on the dating app can choose to extend it another 24 hours. So on my profile at the bottom, I specifically said I only respond to people who extend 24 hours because I've been on it before and I would message people and I wouldn't get a response. So I'm really there for real connections, but my other reason was just to really like post a profile out there that was like different from others. And I guess another reason why I'm on there that I'm well aware of and I'm working on was really about me. I guess using it a little bit as a distraction, but also using it as a way to notice when I'm using the distraction. So like any other social media app, if I notice that I'm on it too long, so for instance, I'm only giving myself like 5 or 10 minutes every day or every other day. I'm trying not to go on it every day. But if I'm there longer than like 10 minutes, I realize I'm just like distracting myself from, you know, being in the moment with myself and connecting with nature, writing, reading, whatever really inspires me, and even like posting these videos. So being on the app inspired me to create this video as well. And then lastly, I know I mentioned connection, but I felt this a little bit of responsibility or purpose of really connecting with people and sharing my vulnerability on these apps. So again, kind of with my last one, I'm really trying not to think that I have to heal people or help them expand their mind. So it's just a little part, like, you know, I'm not out on the streets all the time connecting with people. So like my profile's out there, so people want to connect or not. You know, if they want to read my profile, that might bring something up for them. Whether they choose that they want to swipe right to like connect with me or swipe left to like continue on to the like next person. So yeah, hopefully this was like a cool experience and a cool video for you. I really think that any experience could be a conscious and a spiritual one. So even being on a dating app for me is really spiritual for me and really talking to me in a way of like, what is something that I want to work on, what I want to give to this world, if that makes sense. So for those of you who are wondering as well, I just got back on the app probably like a week or two ago, and I haven't really connected with anyone. Someone extended 24 hours and I just messaged them actually today. So we'll see if, something comes about it, and if I experience some cool things, I'll definitely post another video on it. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and I guess let you know, like, any experience connecting with anyone, whether it's on a dating app or, you meet them at events or through other people, I think it's all beautiful. So thank you for being here and listening to my experience. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for holding the space for me, and I acknowledge myself for holding the space on YouTube. I love you all so much. I'm excited for today, and I think I'm going to spend a little bit more time in nature and connecting and processing what I've been learning about myself. So I love you. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.